Hey, adrenaline junkies! Welcome to today's episode where chaos meets speed. We've got mind-blowing chases, insane moments, and non-stop action that'll keep you glued to the screen. Buckle up and let's get started. Motorcycle chases are always intense, but when they happen in Brazil, it takes it to a whole new level. You won't want to miss this wild pursuit through the streets of Brazil, full of sharp turns, high speeds, and unbelievable maneuvers. Buckle up, because this one's about to get crazy. What's even crazier, there were not one, but two suspects on that bike, and neither of them was wearing any protective gear. Things take a wild turn when both suspects bail on foot. The officer had to make a split-second decision, and he went right after one of them. No hesitation, no space to escape. The pursuit is on, and this officer's not letting up.
Vai tomar, vai correr? Vai correr? Então corre, corre, levanta a mão, levanta a mão. Levanta a mão, vem cá. Vai berrar a moto?
Hã?
Vai berrar?
Como assim?
É roubada?
Eu não sei, senhor, o moleque me chamou.
With one suspect caught and the other tracked down later in the day, this wild chase comes to a close. What do you think about this crazy pursuit? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay tuned for more insane chases. And now, let's dive into the next clip. In Los Angeles, California, on June 23, 2024, Los Angeles police officers responded to a radio call about a male armed with a knife. Upon arriving, the situation escalated quickly, requiring an urgent help call to detain the armed suspect. With lights and sirens activated, officers rushed to the scene, but what happened next was something they could never have anticipated. A patrol unit was involved in a serious crash with another vehicle at the intersection. Los Angeles Fire Department paramedics quickly arrived at the scene and transported the driver of the other vehicle, identified as Regino Orea Jr., to a local hospital. He sustained critical injuries and was placed in a medically induced coma, but is expected to survive. The officers involved in the collision sustained minor injuries and were also taken to a nearby hospital, where they were treated and later released. On July 13, 2024, in College Park, Clayton County, Georgia, deputies were conducting a routine patrol when they spotted an offender riding a dirt bike on the roadway. The rider was standing up, not seated correctly, and the bike was untagged. When deputies activated their emergency lights and attempted to initiate a traffic stop, the offender responded by glancing over his shoulder, laughing, and making an obscene gesture, confirming that this was about to turn into a chase.
Turn it on Godby. Towards Fulton.
Everyone, we're in pursuit of it. Southampton Red. Black male with a black jacket, blue light. Trying to box him in right now.
As the suspect sped up, running red lights and weaving through traffic, it became clear that this was not going to be an easy pursuit. With multiple patrol cars now involved, the situation was escalating quickly.
All right, coming back up to Godby Road. Black male, black pants, black hoodie, black helmet.
Light traffic, reckless driving for the sergeant. Everyone that plays black book, you know about the sheriff, please? Coming up to Norman Drive, still on West Denver Road, we are 45.
The chase took an unexpected turn when the suspect made a sharp left and began riding his dirt bike on the grass. However, for reasons unknown, the offender suddenly lost control, laid the bike down, and unexpectedly surrendered, raising his hands in the air.
This ain't no game. I don't know where you thought you were. Go.
I'm sorry.
This ain't no.
The offender was taken into custody without incident. Upon investigation, it was discovered that while the dirt bike was not stolen, it was unregistered, and the offender lacked valid insurance. Additionally, the offender did not possess the proper license to operate a motorcycle. To make matters worse, the offender was carrying a Glock 43, which, although not stolen, added further charges.
17th, still eastbound on Lloyd. He's losing control. He's all over the road. He's going to crash. We're going to have a crash here at 16th and Lloyd.
On February 22nd, 2022, in Milwaukee, a Ford driver was spotted failing to stop at stop signs. When a Milwaukee police officer activated emergency lights and sirens to initiate a traffic stop, the driver immediately hit the gas and began fleeing. Officers quickly notified other units, initiating a pursuit.
For the air, 546 here for the air. We're going to be eastbound on Fond du Lac from Tamarack in pursuit of a gray Ford F-150. Patch to 3. Patch to the district 3. Still eastbound on Fond du Lac. Passing 26, 24. 5413, monitoring 2 cars. Stop us on the right. Broken. Still eastbound on Fond du Lac. It's going to be a gray Ford F-150. We're coming to North Avenue here. Gray Ford F-150. Clear. 2005, Tom Union 180, passing 19th. He's in the wrong lane of traffic. We're in the right. Speeds are 65. And he's going to turn eastbound on Lloyd from Fond du Lac. Eastbound on Lloyd, coming up to 17th. Still eastbound on Lloyd. He's losing control. He's all over the road. He's going to crash. We're going to have a crash here at 16th and Lloyd. Crash, roll over, send medical.
The suspect lost control of his vehicle, causing it to completely roll over. Officers rescued him from the wrecked car before placing him under arrest and taking him into custody without further incident. It's truly mind-boggling what some people are willing to do to evade law enforcement, especially when it ends like this.
He's trying to run.
In Kalamazoo, Michigan, on January 6, 2025, officers from the Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety were involved in a vehicle pursuit of a stolen car. Officers spotted a stolen 2007 Mercury Milan, and after verifying the vehicle was reported stolen from Portage, the officer initiated a traffic stop. However, the driver, a male juvenile, refused to comply, sparking a pursuit.
I'm good. He's spinning out. Okay, looks like he crashed out.
He crashed out.
Driftwood. He made his way back around Driftwood, Westview, I think it is. Still eastbound on Driftwood, coming up to Drake. Speeds are 46.
The suspect nearly came to a stop after losing control on an icy stretch of road. Despite the close call, he managed to regain control and continued his reckless escape. But instead of learning from his near miss, the suspect accelerated to dangerous speeds. A questionable decision, especially given how the icy conditions had already caused him to lose control moments earlier while driving at a slower pace.
Still eastbound Arena.
Please stop! Stop! Get on the ground right now!
Take him under the duster.
I'm bleeding.
What's that?
I'm bleeding.
Yeah, he crashed out pretty hard.
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
The chase came to a crashing end when the suspect lost control on the icy roads, first colliding with a mailbox and trash can on Driftwood Avenue before slamming into a light pole on Arboretum Parkway. The impact uprooted the pole and sent the vehicle off the road. The 14-year-old suspect tried to make a run for it on foot but was quickly apprehended by officer. Portage public safety officers assisted in interviewing the suspect regarding the vehicle theft. The juvenile sustained minor injuries and was treated at a local hospital before being transported to the Kalamazoo County Juvenile Home. On January 1st, 2024, a Monona police officer observed an SUV, suspecting the driver was attempting to avoid being spotted. The officer followed the vehicle into a parking lot, but the SUV didn't stop. Instead, it turned around and sped past the officer onto Nichols Road, igniting a high-speed pursuit with speeds exceeding 80 miles per hour. As the pursuit escalated, the suspect began running red lights and driving at dangerously high speeds, making the situation even more serious. Realizing the need for backup, the officer quickly called for assistance, hoping to bring the chase to an end as safely and quickly as possible before things got even more out of hand. Thankfully, the road was relatively clear, reducing the risk of harm to innocent drivers. However, the suspect's reckless driving showed he had no regard for his own safety, let alone anyone else's. What happened next, though, is really crazy. The pursuit took a turn no one could have predicted. The SUV's brake lights suddenly flashed as it veered toward a tree, followed by a fireball that engulfed the scene. Tragically, all three occupants, 30-year-olds Rashad Nelson and Aaron Willis and 19-year-old Ajaya Rai, were pronounced dead at the scene. None of them were wearing seatbelts at the time of the crash. A subsequent search of the vehicle uncovered 2 stolen firearms and marijuana. Toxicology reports later revealed the driver had methamphetamine and promethazine in his system at the time of the crash. A heartbreaking reminder of how dangerous reckless driving combined with substance abuse can be. On June 26, 2024, an officer attempted a routine traffic stop on an unusual suspect, a man driving a riding lawnmower near the intersection of Southway Street and Genoa Avenue. Instead of stopping, the man decided to flee, leading officers on a pursuit. This is definitely not something you see every day, so buckle up and check out this wild and unexpected chase.
He's going through a yard. He's going through 2 yards northbound. Continuing north through other front yards, 3900 block of Clark.
The suspect took an unexpected turn, driving the lawnmower straight through backyards and cutting through private property. Unable to follow with their patrol vehicles, officers quickly decided to continue the pursuit on foot.
Traveling with the property. Go Convo now! $30 taser deployment.
One officer managed to catch up to the suspect and attempted to subdue him with a taser, but the effort was unsuccessful. Undeterred, the suspect continued his escape and tried to hide in a nearby bush. However, just a few minutes later, the same determined officer located him. After multiple failed attempts to subdue him with a taser, officers finally apprehended the suspect, identified as 83-year-old William Wackerly. He was taken into custody and booked into the Stark County Jail on several charges, including felonious assault, failure to comply with order or signal of an officer, resisting arrest, obstructing official business, criminal trespass, driving under suspension, operating a vehicle at a slow speed impeding traffic. Wackerly's arrest adds to his lengthy criminal history, including convictions for domestic violence and criminal trespass in late 2023. He is also on probation for making false alarms, a charge he was convicted of on April 30th, 2024. On December 28, 2024, in a small but bustling intersection, Trooper Tyler Riles found himself witnessing a vehicle blew through a stop sign right before his eyes. Without hesitation, Riles flipped on his emergency lights and sirens, determined to bring this reckless driver to justice. What started as a routine traffic stop quickly escalated into a pursuit.
Took the Woodrow exit. We're going to be back south on Woodrow. Show me 1037. TBI. He hit a power line.
As soon as Trooper Riles caught up with the fleeing suspect, he wasted no time executing a precision pit maneuver. The suspect's vehicle veered off course, striking a pole before coming to a stop. The driver, identified as Michaeli Sanders, was swiftly arrested and taken into custody without further incident. Sanders now faces a long list of charges, including felony fleeing, fleeing on foot, reckless driving, criminal mischief, no driver's license, possession of drug paraphernalia, no insurance, no seatbelt. On September 29, 2024, in Polk County, Florida, a Florida Highway Patrol trooper spotted a Porsche Cayenne speeding well above the posted limit. When the trooper activated emergency lights and sirens to initiate a traffic stop, the driver refused to comply, sparking a pursuit.
Good pitch. Cars on in the ditch, disabled. He will not be able to go anywhere from there. So Polk City.
It didn't take long for troopers to put an end to this chase. A single pit maneuver was all it took to stop the Porsche Cayenne in its tracks. Both the driver and passenger were arrested and taken into custody, effectively bringing this pursuit to an end. On June 8, 2024, in Crescent City, California, a highway patrol officer attempted to pull over Joseph Wendell Nelson, a motorcyclist caught speeding on Lake Earl Drive. Instead of stopping, Nelson decided to make a run for it, fleeing down Blackwell Lane and kicking off an intense pursuit.
South Boulder, past Railroad. Radio, can I do go ahead? The 9566 still goes, and we are now going to be northbound Lake Earl.
By traffic, pedestrian traffic, stay clear as watching. Briefly cross double yellow down towards Lake Earl.
And 9566.
The suspect was riding a high-performance sport bike capable of reaching extreme speeds, making a pit maneuver far too dangerous. Understanding the risks, the officer called for backup, determined to end this pursuit safely and without any loss of life.
I believe I see K9 approaching from our rear.
I'm behind him.
9566, do we
166 approaching town at 120.
The chase heated up as the suspect roared onto the highway, heading straight into Crescent City. With more officers joining the pursuit, the odds of stopping him improved, but with a high-speed chase weaving through city streets, things were just getting interesting. Let's see how this unfolds.
The vehicle was wrong lane momentarily and is now back in his westbound lane.
9588, vehicle wrong way momentarily.
9588 approaching Washington at Northcrest. Vehicle is 50.
9588 southbound Indiana, 50 miles per hour.
9588 and traffic is light. No traffic. His way towards O'Brien.
9588 northbound in the Tractor Supply parking lot.
Vehicle TC. Vehicle TC.
The pursuit, involving multiple Del Norte County law enforcement agencies, lasted 20 intense minutes, with speeds exceeding 120 miles per hour. The chase came to a dramatic end when Joseph Wendell Nelson crashed his motorcycle into a Del Norte County Sheriff's patrol vehicle in the Norris Kitchen parking lot. After a brief struggle, officers apprehended Nelson. He was medically cleared at Sutter Coast Hospital before being booked into the Del Norte County Jail on multiple charges, including evading a peace officer, causing injury, resisting or obstructing a public officer, driving without a license, possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia,